The tech job market is going through one of the biggest resets we have ever seen. By 2030, because of AI, some estimate 92 million jobs will be replaced. Which sounds scary, but at the same time, 170 million new jobs are expected to be created, so let's talk about it. If you're new here, hi, my name is Sajjaad. I got my master's in AI and computer science from Georgia Tech when I was 20. I've worked at big tech companies like Amazon, and I interview popular tech CEOs to get a real insider scoop on the future of AI. And in this video, I'm breaking down 12 high-paying, high-demand tech jobs of the future that AI likely will not replace. Plus, I'll also cover 3 high-risk tech jobs that I personally will not pursue, as I believe AI will replace them in the next few years. So if you're a computer science student, interested in tech, or trying to make a career pivot, this is a video for you, so let's get to it. The first high-paying tech job AI will not replace is an AI engineer. And this is one of the hottest roles in tech right now. Every company is desperate to hire these guys. At some tech companies, as an entry level, you can make between $220,000 to $270,000.
Wait, Sajjaad, what does an AI engineer even do?
I got you. So AI engineers are software engineers who build applications powered by intelligent models. For example, a software engineer might build a banking app where users can check their balance and pay their bills. Then an AI engineer might come in and add an AI assistant to that same app. So instead of manually searching through transactions, you can just type, "How can I save more money?" And the assistant understands your question, analyzes your transactions, and gives you a clear answer. AI engineers take software products and integrate powerful AI models so they become more intelligent, personalized, and useful. And that is why AI will not replace this job. AI is just a bot. It can be extremely powerful, but someone still has to manage it, guide it, and actually connect it to the right tools to get the fullest power, which is what an AI engineer does. The second high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a machine learning engineer. And this is where the money can get ridiculous because these people don't just use AI, but they're in charge of actually making AI better. At some big tech companies, machine learning engineers can make well over $300,000, and at top AI labs, especially if you go down the research route, you can make between $500,000 to $700,000.
Wait, Sajjaad, hold up. What does a machine learning engineer even do?
I got you. Machine learning engineers work on the deeper parts of AI, like model training, data quality, and performance. Their job is to answer questions like, how do we make the model more accurate? How do we reduce hallucinations? For example, let's say a company is building an AI tool that can detect cancer from medical scans. You can't just throw a bunch of random medical images into a model and ask it to detect cancer. Instead, a machine learning engineer has to first make sure the data is clean, the labels are accurate, the model is trained properly, and the results are carefully tested. Then, once they have made sure everything is good, they can then deploy that model for people to use. This is important because a model saying it has a 95% accuracy, it sounds cool and sounds amazing, until you realize that 5% error could be a huge issue, especially since this is a medical example where it's life or death. And that is why AI will not replace this job anytime soon. AI can generate an answer, but someone still has to figure out if that answer is actually correct. Someone still has to understand the math, the training data, the evaluation, the edge cases, and the failure points. And that is what machine learning engineers do. The third high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a cybersecurity engineer. And this role is currently exploding because as AI is helping companies build software faster software also means faster security risks. So at some big tech companies, cybersecurity engineers can make well over $180,000.
Wait, Sajjaad, what does a cybersecurity engineer even do?
I got you. Cybersecurity engineers protect a company's systems and data from cyber attacks. For example, let's say a company is running that banking app. A normal user should be able to log in to only their account. But if one cloud permission is set up wrong or one API endpoint is exposed, a hacker might be able to access accounts they should never be able to touch. So a cybersecurity engineer has to test the system, simulate attacks themselves, look for weak spots, and make sure private data actually stays private. And in the age of so many vibe-coded AI-generated apps, there are just so many software vulnerabilities. So some are actually projecting an explosion of cybersecurity engineers this decade. The fourth high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a cloud engineer. Really quick, if you actually want to take your workflows to the next level, listen up. This used to be me. A message would come in, I'd read it, figure out if it actually mattered, send it to the right person, update another tool, and then create a task somewhere else. And at first that sounds normal, but when you're getting emails, Slack messages, team updates, and random follow-ups all day, it becomes a mess really fast. So I partnered with Zapier to show you how powerful this can actually be, especially with Zapier MCP. MCP basically lets tools like Claude connect to the apps where work actually happens. So once I connected Claude to Zapier MCP, I used Zapier's inbox triage triage template to connect the workflow across Gmail, Slack, and Jira. The idea is simple. Instead of letting unread messages pile up across email and Slack, Zapier helps organize the workflow by prioritizing messages, summarizing what they're about, routing them to the right Slack channel, creating Jira tickets when needed, and flagging anything ambiguous for review. And this is the bigger point. Modern work does not happen in one place anymore. It is spread across Gmail, Slack, Jira, Docs, spreadsheets, calendars, and a million other tools. For example, if a customer email comes in about a bug, I can ask Claude to summarize it and create the Jira ticket through Zapier MCP, instead of manually copying the information. And if you want to go even deeper, Zapier also has an SDK for building custom integrations with code and a CLI if you live in the terminal. So instead of constantly jumping between apps and manually moving information around, Zapier helps turn your workflow into a connected system. Check out Zapier, link in the description to try the template, and now back to the video. This role is extremely important because if you're a tech company in 2026, you are built on cloud infrastructure. So cloud architects and engineers are highly sought after and can make well around $200,000.
Wait, Sajjaad, is someone engineering those clouds?
Not exactly. So cloud engineers ensure the technology behind an app actually runs smoothly. For example, let's say Airbnb gets a huge spike in traffic because everyone is booking summer vacation home. If their system cannot handle that traffic, the app starts loading slowly, bookings fail, payments break, and the company could lose millions of dollars. So a cloud engineer typically uses tools like AWS, GCP, or Azure to design the infrastructure so the system can automatically scale up when traffic increases and spread requests across different servers. They make sure the app stays online even when the demand goes crazy. And that's exactly why AI will not be able to replace his job anytime soon. AI can do basic stuff, but if there's a real-time production outage and millions of paying customers are missing their bookings because of a server overload, AI isn't gonna save you. We need humans, these cloud engineers, to make real decisions to ultimately save the day. The fifth high-paying tech job AI will not replace is an AI infrastructure engineer. And this is one of the most underrated roles in this entire AI boom. Because everyone talks about ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, but none of these tools can operate without the underlying infrastructure like data centers and GPUs. And because every company wants AI right now, engineers who actually understand the backbone, the infrastructure of AI, can make serious money. And I'm talking well into the $300,000 range.
Wait, Sajjaad, what does an AI infrastructure engineer even do?
I got you. Let's say an AI company is training a large language model like GPT or Claude. They need thousands of GPUs working together, massive amounts of data moving through the system, and ultimately steady infrastructure. If the networking is bad, the GPUs can't operate. If the storage is too slow, the training slows down. If the power or cooling is not handled properly, the whole data center becomes the bottleneck. So an AI infrastructure engineer is the person making sure the machine behind the AI actually works, which is also why this job is AI proof. Plus, it's just generally a great job to have. Because during the gold rush, some people got rich looking for gold, but the people who consistently made the most money were the ones selling the shovels. And in today's day and age, the AI rush is the same thing. Everyone is rushing to build the next AI app, but all of it depends on compute, GPUs, data centers, and infrastructure. So if you, as an engineer, take a lead on that, there's a good chance you will be consistently rich. The sixth high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a data engineer. And this is a very important role because AI is only as good as the data you feed into it. Bad data into AI creates bad responses out. And because of the value of data, data engineers can make well over $150,000 even as a new grad.
Hold up, Sajjaad, what does a data engineer even do?
I got you. Think about Netflix. Every time you watch a show, pause a movie, or search a title, that creates data. A data engineer helps collect, clean, and organize all the information so Netflix can recommend shows, understand user behavior, and improve the app overall. Without data engineers, all of that information is just digital clutter sitting somewhere. And that is why AI will not be able to replace this job anytime soon. AI can help write SQL or SQL queries for the data, but someone still has to understand where that data comes from, whether it's trustworthy, and how it actually connects into the business overall. Good data means good AI. Bad data means bad AI, and data engineers help with all of that. The seventh high-paying tech job AI will not be able to replace is a Fintech Engineer. And this is one of the best combinations in tech because you're mixing software engineering with money. And whenever technology gets close to the money, the pay tends to get very serious, and I am talking the $200 $250,000 type serious.
Wait, Sajjaad, what does a Fintech Engineer even do?
I got you. Let's say you use Venmo to send money. On the outside, it feels simple. You click a button and the money moves. But behind that one button, the system has to verify your identity, check your balance, prevent fraud, and update both accounts instantly. A Fintech engineer is the person building and maintaining the systems that make money movement, which is very complex, feel simple. And sure, AI can obviously write the software code, but it cannot replace the role of a Fintech engineer. Because finance, at the end of the day, is too high stakes to fully hand over to a bot. I mean, could you imagine an AI bot just managing your bank account and it decides based on its algorithm that you should spend all your money on some random Pokemon card that ends up worth nothing? We as a society simply cannot trust AI to manage all of our finances. So that actually makes Fintech engineering especially valuable since they understand technology and money. The 8th high-paying tech job AI will not replace is an AI product manager. And this role is becoming extremely important because the biggest challenge nowadays isn't figuring out how to build something, but rather is figuring out what should be built in the first place. AI can generate code and build software, but it cannot make the judgment call of what should actually be built. And that's why at tech companies, AI product managers can make well around the $350,000 range.
Hold up, Sajjaad, I'm confused. Give me an example of an AI product manager.
Okay, so let's say a bank wants to add AI to its mobile app. The lazy idea is to say, let's add a chatbot. A good AI product manager will first start off and realize that the real problem is that customers do not understand where their money is going every month. So instead of building a random AI bot, they push the team to build a feature that automatically analyzes spending, detects unusual charges, and helps users make better financial decisions. That is product thinking. It is not just asking, can we add AI? It is asking, where does AI actually solve a real problem? And that is why AI cannot replace this job anytime soon. AI can generate feature ideas and write code, but it fundamentally cannot understand human tastes or figure out what people need on a personal level. And that just frankly requires a lot of time and sitting down to understand other human beings. So human AI product managers should be safe for a very long time. The 9th high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a solutions engineer. And this is one of the most slept on jobs in tech because everyone just wants to hide behind code. But a lot of the money in tech is actually closer to the customer. That's why strong solutions engineers can make north of $150,000 with potential of commissions or bonuses.
Alright, Sajjaad, what does a solutions engineer even do?
I got you. Imagine a company is thinking about buying a cybersecurity platform. The CEO cares about reducing business risk. The CTO cares about whether it works with their cloud setup and their technology. And the finance team cares about whether it's actually worth the money or not. Then the solutions engineer has to come walk into that room and explain the same product differently to each person. And if any of them have any questions or concerns, they have to patiently explain how the product will actually address their needs and be their solution. And look, I know what you're gonna say. AI can do all of that. It can explain things very, very well. But at the end of the day, AI can simply not replace solutions engineers. There's something about dealing with customers that are going through real problems. These like customers that are paying thousands, if not millions of dollars. They need human beings to sit down with them and spoon feed them the solution into their system. And if you've actually used AI to explain things to you, you'll understand that there's always that like certain element at the end of the day that you feel like it's missing. So solutions engineers still are in very high demand. The 10th high-paying tech job AI will not replace is a robotics engineer. And this role is going to become even more important because AI is moving into the physical world. We're talking robots, self-driving cars, drones, warehouse automation, factory robots, and humanoid robots. There's so much buzz around this that people are saying it's going to explode in the next couple years. So salaries for these guys can be well over $200,000.
Wait, Sajjaad, slow down. What does a robotics engineer even do?
I got you. Robotics engineers build systems that can sense the world, make decisions, and physically act on those decisions. For example, think about a warehouse robot that has to move packages around. On paper, it sounds simple. Just pick up the package and move it. But in real life, the robot has to detect people walking by, avoid obstacles, recognize different package shapes, handle slippery floors, and still move quickly without damaging anything. And a robotics engineer has to make sure the robot can do all of that consistently at scale without fail. And that is why AI will not be able to replace this job anytime soon. Because sure, AI can write code, but what on earth are you gonna do when you have a self-driving car on a road where there are pedestrians? Some sensors fail, motors break, you need to ensure to have human intervention in case the technology goes down. Plus, to truly advance the field of robotics as it's still emerging, we definitely need lots and lots of robotics engineers. The 11th high-paying tech job AI will not replace is an LLM Ops Engineer. And this is one of the most important and newest roles in the AI boom. So at top tech companies, LLM Ops Engineers can make well over $300,000.
Ooh la la, what does an LLM Ops Engineer do?
I got you. An LLM Ops Engineer builds and manages the infrastructure around large language models. They manage the large language models operations. For example, let's say a company has an AI customer support assistant. The customer asks something like, how do I reset my password? That does not require the most powerful AI model. A cheaper, faster model can handle that. But if the customer asks a complicated billing question involving account history and refunds, then the system might need a stronger model. An LLM Ops Engineer builds the system that decides which model to use, when to use it, how much it costs, how fast to respond, and whether the answer is actually good enough. They route simple tasks to cheaper models, complex tasks to stronger but more expensive models, and create guardrails so the AI cannot say something completely unhinged. And that is why AI will not replace this job anytime soon. AI can help write code, generate prompts, but someone still has to design the system that controls the AI. Someone still has to decide when to use GPT, Claude, Gemini, or no model at all. And that is what these LLM Ops engineers do. The 12th high-paying tech job AI will not replace is an AI consultant. And this role is going crazy right now because every company is aggressively figuring out how to actually use AI in their business. And honestly, the salary here can range because every company has different needs, but it wouldn't be unreasonable if you didn't make, I would say, at least $150,000.
Huh, so what does an AI consultant actually do?
I got you. An AI consultant helps companies figure out where AI actually creates value. For example, let's say a hospital wants to use AI. They can't just randomly throw ChatGPT at the entire hospital and hope it works. An AI consultant has to figure out where AI actually makes sense. Maybe they can use it for the hospital patient intake form or scheduling. These consultants need to make those AI related decisions, plus they should decide what data is needed and what employees need to be trained on. And truthfully, these people cannot be replaced by AI because they themselves are the ones who are trying to do the AI replacing. And if you don't really have much experience, or like even if you're young, this could be a great role for you because a lot of businesses still operate the old way. They're buried in spreadsheets, some still use paper and pen for processes that should be automated. So if you become AI native, meaning you actually know how to use these AI tools to solve real business problems, you can become extremely valuable. And once you prove you're valuable, you can start earning serious money. Now, as much as AI is creating opportunities, there are definitely certain roles that might be changing / going away that I would classify as high risk. Not to say these jobs will disappear, but they will at minimum go through heavy changes. And the first role for that is the basic junior front-end developer. And I'm talking about the person whose entire job is, here's the Figma design, turn it into HTML, CSS, and React. Because to be honest, a lot of front ends are templatized and are just manual, repetitive React components. And unless you're a seasoned vet with good taste and judgment, you often are just writing basic UI code. And truth be told, a lot of AI coding tools nowadays can easily do that. So if you're in this boat as a front-end developer, try to upskill and learn more about the backend, the integrations, become a full stack builder. Because if you're hyper-focused on one skill that AI could potentially replace, that just puts you at high risk. The second role is the manual QA tester. And to be very clear, I am not talking about a QA automation engineer, but I'm talking about the person whose entire job is click through this app and make sure these buttons work. Because once again, if you look at AI agents nowadays, they can literally do all of that. Tools like Replit and Lovable, before they deliver the product for you to use, they actually run through all the QA test cases that their AI agents have written themselves. And so if you're ever caught in a situation where you're just executing the test cases that other people assign to you, then you are at a high risk of getting replaced. Instead, become the person in charge of designing the test cases, thinking about edge cases, thinking about production scale issues. All of these will make you way more valuable. The third tech job at risk is a basic data analyst. I'm talking about the person whose job is mostly pulling dashboards, cleaning spreadsheets, and summarizing obvious trends. AI can literally do all of that since 12 months ago. Instead, you should focus on upskilling yourself onto different areas like big data, data engineering, data science-based things. Derive insights by ensuring the data is clean, and use that data to improve your own custom GPTs, make better predictions, and do cooler projects. Because overall, at the end of the day, you just need to upskill yourself yourself. And that is the only way you will truly remain AI proof. Well, that's about all I have in this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're interested in my absolutely free tech newsletter, link for that down below in the description. And if you want to watch the conversation I had with the CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, you might like to watch this video right here.